Hi everyone, my name is Anne. I use she, they pronouns, and I am a naturopathic medical student. I'm in my first year, part-time, and I've been in school for a year and a half, and I'm finishing up my first academic year at the end of the summer in August. Um, I wanted to start making these videos to share a bit about what it's like to be in naturopathic medical school as a student with a disability. And yeah, so here goes my PowerPoint presentation. Thank you. So today I'm going to be talking about going to naturopathic medical school with a disability. I'll go over who I am, why I chose naturopathic medical school, how my disability affects me, and my vision of this channel. So first off, I'd like to start with the land acknowledgement. I am calling in from the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations, colonially known as Vancouver, BC, in Canada. A bit about me. My heritage is Han Chinese. My family is originally from Taiwan, and we immigrated to Canada when I was a toddler, along with my parents and older brother. I want to acknowledge that it has been a privilege to grow up on the lands that I currently call home as an adult, as an uninvited guest, and I want to recognize that the ongoing impacts of colonialism continues to affect Indigenous peoples, Black peoples, and other peoples of color to this day. It is important to learn about the history of residential schools and genocide and shed light on ongoing abuse, oppression, and racism that happens on a daily basis. I commit to truth and reconciliation on Turtle Island and being a lifelong student of wisdoms of the world, including Indigenous ways of knowing and medicine. So my educational background is in sciences. I have a Bachelor of Sciences in Integrated Science, integrating human biology and psychology. I was interested in studying, and still am, the interrelationship between how physical health and mental health interact with each other. I'm very passionate about holistic and integrative healthcare. I'm also a trained peer support worker, and I've been in the peer support field for about 11 years now. About my disability, I started experiencing low mood and anxiety in my preteens, and struggled with a lot of unproductive coping mechanisms. I did not seek professional help, until first year of undergrad, and throughout university, I struggled to keep up academically and did not know how to manage stress. It was a challenge trying to find out what was wrong with me, and no one could give me a concrete answer. I continued to struggle seeking professional support all this time for 3 years until I had my first official episode of psychosis in 2015. Later on in 2016, I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, and a long journey of hospitalizations, treatments, interventions, and therapies ensued and continue to this day. My disability affects me on a daily basis. It impacts my cognition, motivation, and energy levels, and my reality testing. Despite this, I worked hard and graduated from my Bachelor's of Science after 8 years, all the while learning about my disability and how to work with it to succeed and thrive. Some of my hobbies include hiking, dragon boating, running, yoga. I like to dabble in watercolor. I like to make really simple and cute watercolor greeting cards on birthdays and holidays. And of course, I love cuddling with my cat sons. Why ND school? Naturopathic medicine is about treating the whole person, not just the illness. and not being simply seen for my labels, which happens quite often still, but as a whole being. It's about getting to the root cause of conditions and illnesses versus symptom suppression and surface level treatments. My upbringing was in an all-natural household, and I was exposed to traditional Chinese medicine growing up, acupuncture, cupping, and herbs. We rarely took pharmaceutical medications unless it was an acute case of serious illness for which it was indicated. My childhood dream was always that I wanted to become a doctor, and I looked into occupational therapy school for a while after receiving lots of support from OTs at the onset of my condition, and ended up choosing the path to become a naturopathic doctor because the holistic, whole person approach resonated a lot with my values. How my disability affects me is that I have to constantly navigate different realities. I have to ground myself to the reality shared by most people and ignore my unique reality or beliefs, or what biomedicine calls delusions. I have to ignore audible thoughts or voices and try very hard to stay connected to the people around me and not isolate. Some other things that I struggle with are avolition, which is lack of motivation, fatigue, which causes low energy, and flat affect, which means I'm having to force facial expressions to match the interaction. And you'll notice that I am trying to be more expressive in my video as well. Some of the cognitive symptoms that I struggle with are information processing speed, attention, memory, concentration, and reading difficulties, as well as executive functioning challenges like time management, organization, and planning. Other things are medication side effects, which causes sedation, poor concentration, and tardive dyskinesia, which is a movement disorder, and in me it happens mostly in my face when I'm concentrating on something. My disorder is stress sensitive, so it flares up under stress and can cause acute exacerbation of symptoms, which often results in hospitalization. So my vision for these videos is that I want to document the mundane and not so mundane bits of life as an ND student here at the college, the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine, Boucher campus here in Vancouver. And I'd like to share how I navigate ND school as a student with a disability, and share reflections and learnings on my journey to becoming an ND. And I'd love for these videos to be reassurance for folks out there who have a disability and are wanting to pursue naturopathic medicine and are maybe a bit hesitant. So thank you for joining me in this sharing about myself, and I hope to see you in the next video.